Good morning, everybody. We're going to begin our Sunday morning Bible study. Brother D, can you open us up with a word of prayer?
Father God, we thank you so much for just waking us up, Lord, and giving us such a beautiful day to worship and gather with the saints on the first day of the week, Father God. We come together to study, fellowship, and just to be with other saints, Father God. As we start out there worship service, we ask that you continually bless the family represented this morning and those who will be on their way. Bless them, keep them wrapped in the hand of bless and harm will come to you. Thank you, Lord, for everything we do, everything we've done, everything we will continue to do, as long as we worship you in the spirit of truth. We ask these blessings and more. Most of all, Father God, we ask for the things of our truth. We ask these blessings and more. And the Lord say, we son Jesus. May we all say, amen.
Amen. Does everybody have a handout, the study guide for the Bible study? Okay. Let's get them out to you. Yeah, there should be 3 pages. There should be 2 pages, but there's 3 front and back, and then a page and speak by itself. And we entitled this lesson, Biblical Answers to Issues That Young People Have. Biblical answers to issues or situations that young people have. And this lesson centered on a question we got last week, and it really centered on bullying. So our thought for today is this: spiritual ways that young people can deal with hostile environments and protect themselves in it. Spiritual ways that young people can deal with hostile environments and protect themselves in it. And we want to use it as a reference point in Proverbs 29:11. Someone get that and read it for me, please. Proverbs 29:11. That's going to be our reference scripture. And what we're doing is, we had a question last week about, but we talked about the sin of homosexuality. And the question was that, in this day, when you begin to stop befriending those people and stop associating with those people, then you begin to get bullied. Talked about arrest, and especially on school campuses. And I thought we'd look at some biblical principles, and I want to apologize because this young man has been here for the whole summer, and I should have been addressed this. And so maybe I'm just going to start putting stuff on YouTube, and so they can go and get it. So we started out talking about abortion with the homosexuality, and then from there, now we're talking about spiritual ways that young people can deal with hostile environments and protect themselves. And again, we want to work on Proverbs 29:11 to kind of set the stage. Someone got that? Proverbs 29:11. A fool tells you everything that's on his mind. But a wise man, he holds it in. Because what is he doing? Or she doing? I'm going to say wise person because we're dealing with both male and female. I'm going to say it's okay to say a wise person. I mean, I know the King James Version, there's some old school. But we're going to bring it up to the new school, I think. So, a wise person, you know what? They don't let their feelings get the best of them. You know what? They kind of hold some stuff back to see where things are going. But if a fool does what? Show you his whole hand. It's like you playing poker. You just lay your hand down so everybody can see it. Well, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose that game, right? You got. Whether you know anything about playing cards, if you show somebody your hand, then they know how to play. But if you keep your hand close to your chest, you keep them guessing at you, right? So, a wise man, a fool vents his feelings, but a wise man holds them back. Look at our connecting the dots principle. So I'm going to say this right off the bat. On the connecting the dots. Everybody see that? Someone read it out. Read that. That first little arrow, that little bullet point there. Everybody see it? Come on and read it for me, please.
Standing for the right things of God or against the unrighteousness of human time can cause you spiritually, emotionally, and even physically.
When you stand up for the right things of God, or when you stand on the right for righteousness, you're going to have some issues. Our scripture that is 2 Timothy, I think it's 3:12 and 14. I thought it was 9. I thought it was 9. But it's 2 Timothy 3:12 through 14. I just want to particularize verse number 12, but somebody got that thing. 2 Timothy chapter 3. 12 through 14, but I think we really want to particularize verse number 14.
When we suffer, we shall also reign with him.
What we at? Chapter 3.
Yea, and all that will love God, will live godly in Christ Jesus, will suffer persecution. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them.
Everybody who will try to live the way God desires to live, you're going to suffer some persecution, some trouble. That's just the way it is. But he so told Timothy, but evil men, impostors, they're going to go worse and worse. We're in that time now. As you see it, our young folks, they can't look back into our generation. But I guarantee you, if you look back, you have seen how things have begun to just what? Get worse and worse and worse. So you see, the Bible is right. Yeah. God didn't make no mistake. But he told the young preacher Timothy, which also is a lesson to us. Even though he wrote this to Timothy, I'm sure Timothy taught to the church of Ephesus. He said, you continue in the things that you have learned. Otherwise, the things that you know are right to do, you keep on doing it. Don't let nobody dissuade you, persuade you to stop doing what you're doing. And even though when you walk away from this stuff, some of your friends, some of your families, some of your mentors, they'll leave you alone. But then I just say, guess what? You left them alone. Because you know the lifestyles are, what we're looking for. Not just lifestyle, but the things they believe in and advocate for just wasn't right. Now look at the next line. Darkness does not like light. That comes out of John chapter 1, the Gospel of John. And when you stand against the darkness of ungodliness, you are the light that unveils the evil that's disguised in it. What I mean by that, somebody? When you're walking in the light, what you going to do? You're going to expose what? The sins of what? Of darkness. So, if you're hanging around somebody or hanging out with somebody who is living a sinful lifestyle, and you are trying to live a righteous lifestyle, guess what your life's going to do? Your life is going to expose their sins. Everybody get that? Your life, young folks, I'm telling you, if you try to do the right thing, there's going to be people around you that don't want to change, ain't going to change. You're going to expose their sin, and guess what? You're going to have some issues. They're going to persecute you. They're going to talk about you. But we get to the point, they're going to do what? Begin to do what? Bully you. Look at number 1. Doing the right thing. Look at number 1, people. Follow along with me. You guys got a study guide? Let's get them a study guide, please. Huh? We're on the first page. Page 1. Under connecting the dots. We're at number 1. And I'm not sure what we're going to get. I'm actually pick and choose. I want you all to kind of chime in too, because I want this to be just uncut. But I want to get this introduction of it. I should have did it a lot faster. But look at number 1. Doing the right thing or things will cause you to lose what? What else? What else? What else?
Social status.
What else?
Financial ruin.
Everything that you thought was dear to you, when you start trying to do the right thing and try to stop associating or disassociate from people who are trying to do the wrong thing, it's going to cost you. But what did Jesus say about that? Matthew 10:29. Somebody got it? Matthew 10:29. Just read it. Read it off the paperwork. I wrote it out as long as with it. So I'm going to take I got it. Matthew 10:29.
He that finds his life shall lose it, and that loses his life for my sake shall find it.
Jesus said, guess what? To do the right thing, you may have to lose your life. What does it mean? Somebody tell me what he's talking about, lose your life. Somebody talk to me. What does he mean by you're going to have to lose your life to find your life for his sake? What does he mean by losing your life?
They're talking about giving up to a lot of stuff.
Giving up a lot of stuff. Giving up that stuff we just talked about. Friends, loved ones, family, finances, social status, and whatever else that might bring you joy in your life around other people. I want you to say that's happiness. Because can't nobody steal your joy. You can give it away. But can't nobody steal. Young folks, let me say this to you. Happiness, yeah, people can affect that because happiness depends on external things. Happiness depends on things that makes you feel good in a moment. But joy comes within. And when you can find joy within yourself, you don't worry about it. Can't nobody take that from you. It's a hard thing to do now. I'm not saying it's easy. But you have to find that joy within yourself. Somebody got something to say? You want to chime in?
That's Matthew 10:39.
I'm sorry. Y'all correct. I tell you, I did this thing yesterday evening. I tell you, I had a long day yesterday. So yeah, Sister Nash supposed to be correcting stuff. I'm going to start getting up back there and go through this stuff. I tell you, I have a lot on my plate. So yeah, I'm going to try to do that. It's 10:39, right? Okay, thank you. So you guys can make that correction. So it's going to cost you. Now let's get down to what the question was for last week. Bullying. Look at the check mark here. Bullying is an unrighteous act. What's the definition of bullying? Read off the paper. Give me your own definition. Huh? Hold on. Let me get the mic down here. I gotta go for it. Let me get the mic. You know, and if you guys got a better definition, give it to me.
Definition of bullies: to seek harm, intimidate, or deceive.
Seek to harm, intimidate, or coerce someone to think that's wrong.
Yeah. Bullies usually pick on someone who they think is weaker than them. That's what they usually do. Not all right. You got some bullies, you know, it's got a Mike Tyson kind of attitude. You know, if y'all know who Mike Tyson is, you got some bullies like that. But in general, bullies does what? They prey on the weaker people. Man. I don't know why I know. Anyway. Yeah, so it's to seek to harm, intimidate, or coerce someone that is vulnerable. Look at 8. Bullies often mistake restraint, level-headedness, mild manner, and lack of aggressive, offensive, and a defensive behavior for weakness and vulnerability. What am I talking about right there? In a few words, what am I talking about, somebody? It's in a few words. All right.
They think you're weak. They think you're coward. You don't want to fight for yourself.
Yeah.
Because you choose to make the decision not to engage. Look at you as weak.
A word from my generation, they call you a wimp. I don't know if I'm around y'all young folks, like it's been a few years now. But you scared, but our language, what we call it, Brother McGee, you're a wimp. That was our language. Well, no, we had another word, but you know, it ain't, you know, you might get arrested using that word now. But for young men, for the young ladies,
see, someday, times like today's time, the kids call nerves.
but nerves, they were a little different, but you know, they kind of left nerves alone, but they were just a brainiac. He just beat them. But I'm talking about, but you know, if you was trying to hang out with the group and the crowd, you know, you was hanging out with them, you wasn't, you know, you didn't have some stuff going on, they call you a wimp. Especially if you actually, and you're right, nerds probably fall in that category. But I knew some nerds that really wasn't in that category. They were smart as they wanted to be. And, you know, I'll tell you a quick story. That's a young man, very quiet. Very tough. And my elementary school had some stairs, probably had to be about, 8, 10 feet. I was way up there. And every day at recess, I'd get up and slap him beside the head. Because he didn't say too much, very soft spoken, didn't bother nobody. I guess one day he got tired, turned around and put him up. I didn't know he was fighting. I didn't slap him on the back of the head no more, I can tell you that. Yeah, but bullies, see, so I was bullying him. Because I thought he was weak. I thought he was a wimp. So I was actually bullying him. You know, every day I was just pop.
I had one of those students, he used to do me and Larry, I never got this guy name. He was doing the same thing to me and this other guy. But the same day, and we didn't know this was going to happen, I kicked him in the spot that all men hate to get hit at. And I gave him a real good kick. Later on that day, and I didn't know Larry did the same thing. And because he was bullying both of us. He was a bully.
Yeah, look at them a beat. You know, because you're well-mannered, a gentle, humble. But that's what God can do his best work in you. Did you know that? God gives you his grace when you are, I should say, in your most vulnerable situation. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, I got 9 through 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
9 through 10. But I tell you, I think it's 9 through 10. 9 to 10. It is. You can read it straight from the paper. It's on the paper.
And he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfectly made. My strength is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, gladly I will rather boast in my infirmities than the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in needs, and prosecutions, in distress, for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong.
Yeah, man. Paul, he was some kind of man because he said he takes pleasure in his weakest moment. I ain't gonna stand and tell you I'll deal with it. But you know, I guess we're all work in progress. I'm trying to get there one day. Paul, he takes pleasure. But God does his best work in those who are what? Weak. Not weak, but those, God can do his best work when you're at your lowest point. Huh? Anybody agree with that? Have God ever done his best work in you when you couldn't see no way out? Nobody? But Brother McGee? God ain't never came to your rescue when you saw no way out. But young folks, let me tell you something. When bullies have you cornered, God will come to your rescue when there ain't no way out. Hopefully we get through this lesson. I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit. Number 2, the best defense against bullies is a what kind of offense? A righteous offense. Now, and I should elaborate a little bit more, but I could have time to put things together let this in. Give us an example of a righteous offense. It's probably a lesson. Why don't you know? I don't even call her by name. So, brother, give me an example of a righteous offense against the bully.
Prayer. Great.
And you know what, Sister Smith? I couldn't sleep last night. I got up about 3 o'clock, and I realized I ain't had prayer. I don't know this list. But I already sent it to the printer because our printer ain't working. But that should be the first line of defense. And I apologize, young folks. But I was woke. I said, you know what? I didn't put prayer on that. That's what happens when you don't take time and prepare early. When you wait to the last minute to try to do God's work. Let that be an example. God handling God's business little by little, so you ain't your back in against the wall trying to do something for God. But prayer should have been the first thing on that list. Thank you, Sister Smith. But another example, and they're probably here, of a righteous offense. Let's go through it in there. Let's go through it. Go down to life application and principles. Recognizing bullying. That's what I want to do. There are some misconceptions about bullying. Bullying is not always at the end of somebody's fist or some harm project. Young folks know what I mean by that? Bully is not always just fighting you or attacking you with some kind of physical object. But some folks think, well, bully is just the guy who wants to fight all the time. That's the bully. So, also, you can recognize bully by saying that by stuff like sarcasm, threats, insults, ridicule, and non-verbal acts meant to demean or intimidate. Those are words that they use. They use sarcasm against you, demean you. Those are words. They use non-verbal action. What I mean by non-verbal action? Looking you down. Looking you down. Looking you down. I don't want to do it again. Yeah.
Plan to build.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me your mom show.
Yeah. All of that. He said, we're talking about your parents, we're talking about you, ridiculing you. But then just looking at you.
Laughing.
Yeah, laughing at you. And then this work. You ain't nobody. What you tell them? I am somebody because I am God's creation and I'm wonderfully and fearfully what? But they'll tell y'all, you ain't nobody. You think you so holy? You so righteous? I remember when. Paul said, putting the things that are past behind and looking forward to those things which I press on towards the mark of the, what kind of calling? The higher calling. So you tell me, you know what, yeah, that's how I used to be. But now, I'm trying to get to higher ground. But guess what? Too much water down here for me. But I can't drink all that water. So the water, that's the water of sin. There's too much down, I can't handle all that. I'm trying to get to higher ground. I'm trying to do the right thing in the sight of God. But it's going to cost you. It will cost you. Now look at this one. And I kind of threw this in there. I didn't. Bullying can be sexually implicit. There are forms of bullying that can be sexually implicit. Look at A. Bullying can be in the form of complimentary language or gestures that on the surface seem okay, but it's meant to coerce traffic. You know, I use the word gestures and language. Oh, baby, you know you so fine. That dress sure looks good on you. Oh, look at him. Look at your muscles, man. Wow. You are amazing. But then, they know you don't want to hear that. That's the idea. They know that that's not how you roll. But they just say, okay, well, you know what? Man, she thinks she's something. Hey, what's up, baby? That's what you little pretty self. But then, if you don't respond, well, you was ugly anyway. When I was coming up there to say, when a young lady would not accept a young man's advances, he would tell her, Well, you look better going than coming.
Yeah.
Y'all get that one. You look better going than coming. But that can be a form of bullying, especially if it becomes consistent. And especially, when you've told a person once, you know what, I don't like that kind of talk. I don't want you to speak to me like that. But if he or she keeps coming at you like that, then that's a form of bullying. They use some compliments, but it's still a form of bullying. B, bullying can be in the form of subtle joke that goes over the head of naive ones, or those who are innocent. They may tell a little joke. All their buddies, and they just click. They know the joke is about you, but you don't. You're naive. So it's about you. And so then all of a sudden, you know what? The joke becomes a rumor. And you're wondering, I don't do that, because you was naive. But everybody got the joke but you. Because I think you're the good girl, you're the good boy. So they'll just say something when it goes over your head. And all of a sudden, saying, you didn't get the joke. It wasn't me, but all of a sudden, man, it's all over school, all over the playground, all over the place, wherever you hang out at. You may get laughed at, some kind of a nod because of peer pressure. That sends an inviting message. Now this right here, see, sexually glancing. They call it oogling. Especially when the person knows that you do not approve. Yeah, that's the boys. Boys have to stare girls down. Yeah. But they're trying to break me down. Yeah, I know a lot of the tactics. Yeah, they just stare you down. And even though you said, stop looking at me, I pay that no attention. They'll stare you down and trying to break you down. So don't get caught up this stuff. Another misconception. Both genders use bullying tactics. Both. Now, some books say all genders. I don't use that. You tell someone all genders, they talk about the made up gender. No. I'm going to tell you, male and female, both use bullying tactics. Girls, they click the teeth and harass you and use physical aggression. They bully girls that do not click with them or have a separate set of morals and standards. Girls will do that. I've seen girls do that. You ain't clicking with them, and you ain't rolling the way they roll. Oh man, they look clicking going, man. If you let them, they will turn your life upside down. It's hard because you know what? It ain't just one; it's a whole little clique. And it doesn't say this about you, say nothing about you. And sometimes when they find one that they can what you call them look for? I'm trying to find the right word. Try to find one that'll come against you physically. They just might say something that ain't true to get somebody over there angry at you, so they can fight with you. This happens. Now, boys, we talked about that. Usually, but the less athletic and the nerds. So I do that on there because they don't do sports or other popular extracurricular activities, and they are not popular with the girls. Boys get bullied because of stuff like that. Are you aware of that? Are you aware of that? Have you seen it? So you know I ain't lying, right? Brooklyn, have you seen the stuff I'm talking about with girls? Have you seen it? All right. Well, make sure you guys know so you know I ain't lying.
I think the bottom line in most bullying is that they're jealous of you in some ways. And a lot of times, that's my own personal opinion about bullying. They keep talking about you or jealous of you, something about you that they wish they were. Yeah. And they're bullying you because you are really better than them. They're jealous. Maybe you got more friends than you. Maybe you the things that's important to teenagers, maybe, you got more than they got.
I see Brooklyn's hand.
Oh, they went through one, like, people bullied them. So then, like,
Yeah.
when they go through that, they're like, oh, I'm going to give it to this person because that's how I found stuff.
Yeah, get back here. You're right. And I don't have it on there. But yeah, she's definitely right. People who have been bullied, if they get the opportunity, they get the payback. They'll bully others too. Sister Smith.
And sometimes people bully because of their home life. You have a good life at home, and they don't. And they're bullied. They wishing they had that life you have. They bully you for it. Try to,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's on the thing here when I get to it. Let's call it insecurity and stuff like that. But now, here's what I want to get to, and I'm going to try to finish this out. Life application of principle. Spiritual ways to deal with bullies to avoid physical or violent responses. Bullies use provoking tactics to see how you will respond. Bullies don't usually walk up and start punching on you. I mean, they got a few, like type of crazy ones. But bullies don't just walk up to you and start beating on you. They do what? They use provoking tactics to see how you will respond. But, number one, you should respond in a wise, spiritual manner so that you are in control of your feelings. Read from the paper, Ecclesiastes 7, 8 through 9.
The end of a matter is better than its beginning, and patience is better than pride. Do not be quickly provoked in your spirit, for anger resides in the heart.
You see, a bullet will push your buttons. But Solomon said what? The end of the matter is better than what? Its beginning. And patience is better than pride. Do not be quickly provoked, agitated in your what? Spirit. Because anger resides in the what? In the lack of food. So A, do not allow the bully to see what he wants to see from you. To lose your composure and become the joke of the moment. What I mean by that? Don't allow the bully to see what he wants to see in you. That is to lose your composure and become the joke of the moment.
To react.
Yeah. You know what? He's looking for a laugh. Maybe that excites him. Because violence and torture excites some people. Y'all know that? Some people get they get a kick out of that. But no. Don't be so easy to express your feelings, how you feel. It's not be patient. Let it roll. Solomon said the end of the matter is better than the beginning. Because in the beginning, you know it's heated. But at the end, you keep your composure. By the end, he might say, okay, now I look like a fool. I'm trying to make her act a fool or him act a fool, but now guess what? They didn't lose it. Now I look like a fool. I got exposed for who I really am. That was number one, I think. Number two, the bullies who like to brawl may be looking for a fight. Do not oblige him with negative and aggressive responses. A, if it's a matter of words, just ignore the bully. Romans 12:7 says what? I got 2:10.
Do not repay anyone for evil for evil. Be careful to what is right in the eyes of everyone. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Do not take revenge, my dear friend, but leave room for God's wrath.
If the bully likes to brawl, then verbal retaliation does what? Gives him the excuse he was looking for. They call that doing what? Adding what? Fuel to the fire. So number one is you should always respond to a bully in a spiritual control manner. Number two, don't give the bully, especially the brawler, what they're looking for. Number three, respond with truth to the bully's talent. What does talenting mean? It's kind of harassing you, just on your cage, just won't leave you alone. They're just saying other things to you. They're not, you know, they're not putting their hands on you. They're just saying things to get you out your comfort zone. But how do you handle that? Just laugh it off. Even if it offends you. In other words, don't wear your feelings on your sleeve. What do I mean by wearing your feelings on your sleeve? No church talk.
Easily hurt, sensitive.
Yeah.
Don't let them see that, you know, that they're getting next to you.
Yeah, if you wear them on your sleeve, they can see what you're feeling, right? They can see your thoughts. Now, they're not literally on your sleeve, but the idea that you're expressing yourself in a certain way, and also that carries an idea of, you know what I'm saying, of just reacting angrily. But laugh it off, even if it offends you. And watch them be, learn not to take aggressive verbal behavior so seriously. Often when a bully realizes that his or her talk does not offend you, he or she finds that the harassment has no effect, and a lot of times they just leave you alone. It happens. When a person sees that they can't push your button, they can't get a thrill out of you, they'll go look for somebody else's button to push. But as long as they know they can push your button, they'll keep pushing them. Because they must enjoy that, right? Keep doing it. They're getting something out of it. Whatever they're getting out of it, of pushing your buttons and make you lose your self-control, guess what? They'll keep doing it. But no, this sometimes
I'm going to use like Tyler, you know, he's in the second grade now, and his new teacher, she's a bully. She's been bullying him ever since school started. As a matter of fact, she pushed him the other day, and I was being fall, and the principal had to call the police on him. So we had to get him changed out of the classroom because she's been bullying him ever since he started second grade.
yeah, but she got some other issues going on too, though. You know, school teacher, you don't push no little, especially down in elementary school. So she got some other issues going on. So that's probably they have her evaluated. If you know what I mean. Okay, so respond with humor to a bully talk. Number 4. Don't miss this. Respond to his verbal or aggressive behavior with a Clark Kent demeanor instead of a Superman one. What do I mean by that?
Be mild-mannered.
Be mild-mannered.
Don't respond.
Yeah. Clark Kent was mild, but Superman wasn't no joke.
I can give you a good example. Have you ever heard of Nutty Professor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like when he had changed from the professor to this other guy, and they went up to this comedy show, and the old boy on stage was laughing at the professor, you know, when he got up talking about the moon was out and all this, and making jokes up. And then Reggie came around, his name was Reggie. And then the other guy came back, Eddie Murphy came and turned into, you know, this other guy named Love or something. And he came back and got with Reggie, talked about Reggie, told him he had teeth like Mr. Ed and all this, you know. And see, you know, like that's a form of bullying as well.
Yes. But Stephen,
Trying to intimidate people.
don't use the Clark Kent attitude. Now Clark Kent, before you guys may not know, Clark Kent and Superman, they were the same person. He had this magical power, you know, all of a sudden he would go into the phone booth.
Yeah, he wrote it down.
Phone booth and sit on the street, put on that tape. And you know, I mean, he was like kryptonite then. Yeah. But no, use the male approach. Proverbs 15:1, what does it say?
A soft answer turns away wrath. A grievous word stirs anger.
Wow. That probably should be on a part of our scripture reference too. A soft answer does what? But grievous word does what? Anger. This old saying, you catch more honey, you catch more flies with what?
Bees with honey.
I don't know. What?
Some that fly.
Yeah, some that fly.
You know, I'm sitting here thinking about the bullying. I don't think I handled it well. I used to fight
Well, we didn't have those tools coming up because you know what? I mean, in our neighborhood, fighting was a way of life. Every day after school on the block, it was just, well, back then, you didn't get in trouble for fighting, but we didn't have all them big old guns killing each other. I mean, we know all the fools who had guns, we knew who they were, and you left that fool alone. Unless he came out, every night they had a fool to come to the playground and shoot a scatter gun, but that was very rare. Yeah, but fighting was a way of life. Not saying it was right, but we've come a long way, and so now bullying has to take on a whole different tone right now. But you keep a cool head when verbally attacked. Keeping a cool head when verbally attacked is the fruit of the Holy Spirit called what? Self-control. And go back to our spiritual reference. We read it earlier, Proverbs 29:11. That's our. Read that again.
A soft answer turns away.
No. Go back to the first page. To our scriptural reference. Get the mic.
A fool vents all his feelings, but a wise man holds them back.
That's called self-control. They'll take you a long way. Don't give the bully what he or she is looking for. Look at number D. Gentleness, or we call it mild manner, is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. Don't miss this part here. Mild-mannered people have a healthy balance to their life. What do I mean by that? They are not easily thrown off balance emotionally. They are not easily what? Frustrated. Whereas bullies, now we get to what I was talking about. They are usually what? Insecure, frustrated, and sometimes even desperate. You see the difference? So because you're a mild-mannered, gentle, have a gentle spirit, that don't mean you're weak. I found it out young in life. That guy told me the guy got to swinging at me. I figured that out a long time ago. Proverbs 16:2, what does it say? Yeah. I don't think I even put Proverbs 17:4 on there. But the last one is this. But this is very important. You see, I got it in bold writing. Let me get Proverbs 17:4. I don't know what I know to say on that. Are you looking on the third page at number 5? Someone read that for me. Third page, number 5.
Protect yourself.
Protect yourself.
If the situation appears to get out of control, look for a way of escape. Proverbs 17.
I don't know what I meant by it. Let me find it right quick. I know it means something. I think what I want. Don't worry about it. The problem is this. If the situation appears to get out of control, find you a way of escape. Watch this here. Before the quarrel begins, I know I have, anyway, but before the quarrel began,
You want me to read it? I have the scripture.
what is it?
The beginning of strife is as when one letteth out water. Therefore, leave off contention before it be married.
That's it. Here, take the mic and read it out loud. I don't know what I'm at. I'll forget what he said. Read it out loud.
Proverbs 14. The beginning of strife is as when one letteth out water. Therefore, leave off contention before it be meddled with.
That's Proverbs 17:14. What the Bible is saying is this. When you see trouble coming, get away from it. That's all it's saying. I'm going to try to be brief so we can get out of here. I want to get through this lesson. But by the way now, I said protect yourself. Now we're going to read this before watch B. Before the quarrel get to a space of imminent physical violence, leave the space. It may require walk or even running away. I know that ain't popular among you. You know, you don't want to go. No. That's not a sign of weakness. Proverbs 17:14 said, you know, before you go, get away, get out of it. But I want you to be able to protect yourself. Look at number C. If there is now, that should be not now. That should be N-O-T. So make that correction. If there is not a way of escape, you may have to respond to the Bible against you in the best way that you can. What do I mean by that, somebody?
Get them up.
Don't be afraid.
Get them up.
What do I mean by that, somebody? You know, they need to know. If I'm wrong, y'all be
You protect yourself.
But I said if there's not a way of escape,
Sometimes you just have to fight back.
yes. The fact you respond in the best way that you can. Fight may not be the best way, but then that's why I say the best way that you can. And let me tell you this. Look at Romans 12:18. What does it say?
It's impossible, as much as lies in you, live peacefully with all men.
If it be possible. Pearl has a question.
When you say protect yourself, what do you mean?
Keep yourself from getting injured or harmed in some kind of way.
Are you speaking with your people you associate with, or what?
No. We're talking about the fact that if someone is bullying you and they got you cornered, and violence is going to come at you, and you can, I mean, a lot of times at our school there'll be a corner, and the bully walks in and they back you up. You're in the corner, and you got him, maybe two people right there. You either stay in there and get beat down, or you can try to find the best way you can to get out of there. And that may mean what? I got to get one to make some space for myself.
That's not the Christian way. Are you speaking to Christians about, getting even or fighting back? The Bible tells us to turn.
Okay.
The Bible tells us to turn the other cheek. Okay. And another thing, we have to have an honest conversation. Sometimes people can provoke certain things to come up on them.
If you guys are paying attention to this lesson, that's why I went through all of it. We said, let me read it again.
Brother,
Hold on, let me read it again.
I'm going to give you something to think about.
Okay.
Okay. When I said that sometimes people can provoke certain things to come up on them.
Hold on, stop. We're talking about bullying. When you're being bullied by somebody, you are not provoking that per se. Bullies don't need to be provoked. Hold on. What's your definition of bullying? I guess that's what we got to start with.
I guess a bully would know I'm not a bully.
No, but what's your definition? Because this is all about being bullied.
Okay.
Give me a definition of bullying.
The Bible says we are to have our conversation honest, whereas they speak evil of us as evildoers. By our good works, they will be ashamed. Okay? Now, the Bible also says, not rendering evil for evil or realm for realm, but contrariwise, knowing that ye therefore are called, that ye should inherit a blessing.
Stuart, you go ahead, then. Go ahead. You need mine? Okay. Look.
That's not answering your question if you're in the corner and somebody fighting you. It's not answering that.
Turn the other cheek and move on.
How you gonna turn
You
your
can lose your
cheek
soul
and beat you up? What
by
you gonna do?
retaliating.
I got a few
Being a
that
Christian.
for.
If you're not a Christian, you can do whatever you want to do.
Pearl, if you get out your car, you go in your house, and somebody
You
grabs
know better than that.
you gonna stand there and turn your cheek, you gonna fight to save your life.
Being a spiritual person, I
Spiritual or
would
no
probably
spiritual?
turn the other cheek.
No, you won't.
If
If somebody
you
attacks you out of your car or in your house, you're not gonna stand there and start quoting scripture. You're gonna do something to try to protect
Now,
your
I
life.
already know the scripture,
But
okay?
you're not gonna stand there and start
Therefore,
quoting
I
scripture.
can deal with it.
You wake up in the middle of the night,
But if
somebody
you're
is
not
crawling in your
spiritual-
bed. You're not
Well,
gonna
no,
stand there.
let me just say this. Let me just say it like this. Let me just say it like this. And maybe I'll wait. I'll bring a lesson next week. Just show you how men of God dealt with stuff. I'll do that next week. I'll just bring a lesson on how men of God. Peter carried a sword around, and guess what Jesus been telling him? I didn't know in the Bible what Jesus said, don't take it off. But when they came to get Jesus, Peter cut his ear off. But he walked around with a sword on. How do I know that? Because he had to walk around because they came to get Jesus, he had a sword on. But Jesus didn't say he didn't say, Peter, take the sword off. He just said this, pick the man up, put it back on. Why did Peter have a sword? Why did Peter? Now Jesus didn't say a mumbling word. He just said, you have said. He didn't do that. Jesus knew that. But I'm going to tell you this. Men of the Bible said the theme in the fourth time of been for our learning, that we through comfort of the scriptures may have patience, may have hope. And when I look into the Old Testament especially, I see some things that that guess what? Look, if you come up in my house, I tell you what, don't shut my door. No. And let me tell you this. A man would be less than a man that let somebody come into his house, kill him, his kids, and his family. What kind of head of the household is that? He ain't no head of the household. Ain't no. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna talk from a man perspective. Y'all women talk from women. I'm a man. Let me step down here. I'm a man. Let me tell you something. You ain't coming in my house and mess with my kids or me or anything in my house. I ain't gonna. That is if I can do something about it. I'm not going to. Because guess what? I'm a man and I'm made. Now maybe the women might do a little bit different. But I tell you about my mama. She raised her by herself. And you wasn't coming in that house messing around with her. No kid.
So, I got it.
I said, God, this way excited.
I feel the same way because as men, I don't think this is strictly concerning men. I think all of us, when it gets to a protective mode, I used to tell Melissa when she started going to middle school, I said, we're not going to fight. We do not fight.
Right.
Try to walk away from it.
Try to walk away.
But if you must, take their head off and I'll deal with the school.
Here's the scripture. If it be, no. I can stop right here. If it be possible. So now what's the flip side of it? If it ain't possible, what do you do?
You got to take yourself.
Now, if you can walk away, you walk away.
Yeah.
If you can run away, run away.
Right.
Let me tell you something. I got 3 kids I got to raise. And I tell you what, you ain't going to beg me no point and beat me down when I can't come out and take care of my kids. That's just it. Now, I have to ask God for his mercy and his grace. But I had 3 kids I had to take care of. And wasn't nobody going to get me and hurt me. Why I couldn't take care of my kids? I wasn't going to do that. I just, because let me tell you what, if it ain't possible, I can't run from you. I can't talk to you. I can't reason with you. I can't walk away. And you insist on harming me and my family. Well, okay then.
Let's do it.
Like Nike say, just do
So
it.
it's the same. You come in my house and talk around with God, but
I thought on the news.
nothing to defend
On the
myself.
news, these 3 guys broke in this man's house. And the man ran to his room and they had guns. The man ran to his room, got the gun, and chased him up out of it.
Let me tell you what.
See, because
Watch this
if he
here.
didn't
Watch
do
this
that,
here.
if he didn't do that,
But
he
watch-
could have got killed.
But
and
watch
killed
this here. Watch
everybody
this here.
else.
That's a natural reaction there. That's a natural reaction. You know what? I'm over the hit me, man. Let's get out of here. We'll talk about this next. This is what.
One more thing. Somebody broke into LL Cool J's house. He beat him down with his fists. He beat him down in his house. He beat him down. Called the police. The guy went to jail. Now he was trying to sue LL.
Let's end on
He
this.
broke in his house.
Let's end on this note. For all of those who will get cornered, and on the way out, let's fight back. If you decide to just stay there and take it, okay. If that's what your faith level is, the Bible says it's not a faith, it's a sin. So if that's what your faith level is, okay.
That's where it is.
No. But I say, mine has not risen to that level yet. I just gotta be admitted.
You're gonna quote scripture while you get in front of God said,
No. Sister Pearl, what we'll do is we'll open up next week. We'll look at this whole idea. I'm sure we got a lesson just for that. So, brother, keep your prayers out.
Father God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together and fellowship with the other saints, Father God. And just talk about your word and how to deal with life's up and down, Father God, and the manner in which you have told us to and try to do every day, Father God. Father God, we thank you for this lively discussion.
Amen.
And understand that this is all for our young people in the building, Father God, and we're just trying to grow as Christians, Father God. And everything we do and say is we will honor you in your word, Father God. And as we go on the furthest of our service, all we try to do, and all we will do, is to honor your word and grow to love you, Father God. And if something happens in the meantime, Father God, we ask for the things of all sin. And we ask these blessings in the name of your Son, Jesus.
Oh, before y'all go, what this doesn't help at all. Okay, I mean, no, I want honest opinion, because if it wasn't, I gotta go back and tweak it again. So I guess I gotta add now, how do you handle it, by turning another cheek. I'm not gonna add that to the lesson now. So we dismiss, what we're gonna do with this church, I know we gotta, oh, let's